Okay, this will be an interesting one. A lot of kids like these, normally girls, but I'm sure some boys would appreciate it as well. I don't know how we're going to make this turn out. This will be a real interesting piece. Kids like them. They're very popular with kids. Actually going to leave that out. See what we have. We have here a notebook. Yeah, it's a notebook, and it's got a unicorn on it. An interesting little thing. Unicorns, a lot of kids like them. Very popular. Unicorn. I do find them quite funny. There's something amusing about unicorn, or the word unicorn. I don't know why I find them funny. I just do. Unicorn. Yeah, that looks really quite interesting, this unicorn. It looks a bit boring though. It does look boring. There's not much to it. So we're going to do a movement of this unicorn. I'm thinking we're going that. We're going to move it around. Going to slip and slide it, folks. Wondering we're going to go to 100%. I hope I don't destroy the sequins. I'd like to redonate this back to the op shop. And the unicorns are kind of amusing, and we've lost most of it. That's the head there. Wondering what we're going to do with this. We're going to maybe go back to positive mode. We haven't done that. I just keep this silly user interface is a little bit clumsy. I just got a bit clumsy with it. Like, I just seem to be rolling around on this dumbass screen. Stupid company built this machine, Konica Minolta. They don't care about the quality or the user experience of photocopiers, so you sort of know that they're in it just for the money, and they might as well be sniffing powdered unicorn horn, because they're so fucking stupid and they fucking just care about money, and they just don't have any scruples. They're really dumb people that run the company Konica Minolta. You can get the man behind Konica Minolta, Shai Yamama. He's the CEO of the company. He ought to be ashamed of himself. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get that, that you got to be in it for the passion, not the profit. Because Konica Minolta are all about profiteering, and that's what Scott thought. No, not. I said some other name. Sorry, just didn't. Not concentrating. But Shayamana really knows how to make rubbish, and I don't have any admiration or respect for him and his bullshit. Let's see how we go. Yeah, it looks shithouse what I'm producing. I'm actually thinking that looks a lot better. But basically, my goal one day is to build a copier system that is artificially intelligent, and that is also good for the environment as well, like to make the equipment last lifetime 60 years instead of 5 years. And basically the equipment is going to be manufactured out of recycled materials, like from India and China, where there's lots of e-waste, electronic waste, which is a serious problem. And I want to mine these waste dumps for resources, to not just have recycle, not just to save minerals from being mined, but to help clean up the areas that have been messed around with by big companies who don't care that they're disposing inappropriately e-waste. So, I'm trying my best. I want to make a difference, and even the way the photocopiers are physically designed, they're going to be designed to be easily dismantled for recycling. And basically, we have to think of our Earth and think of our human race. And one of the things featured also will be that these equipments will be manufactured on Australian soil. No made in China, no made in Vietnam equals no slave labour. We are creating our equipment on our shores and creating jobs for Australia and making sure people don't get treated like fucking modern day slaves. I'm going to do this again. I will not tolerate slavery, and I will not tolerate this shit that we have now. I have to tolerate it for now, but I'm not going to tolerate it in my fucking factory one day. It's going to be done right, and the workers are going to be paid a little bit more than they're actually worth. So we give them a bit of kindness. I want to do that, folks. I want to do the right thing, and I want to find solutions. I want to also not just be a CEO. I want to be a scientist, and I want to find solutions to problems like climate change, which these big companies haven't, and they won't. So we have to fucking do some work on this planet and on the human race and make it a really good place to be. I don't believe we can populate Mars, and you'd have to be pretty environmentally friendly, which these rich people aren't, if you want to populate Mars. So we have to think that there is no planet B, there is just Earth. And we have to fucking do our best with the resources we have and the money we have and make the world a better place. We can't go ripping off this planet and hurting fellow humans just to make an obscene fucking profit. We've got to work to, you know what I mean? I'm just getting a bit tongue-tied, folks. I'm just so fed up with the way the world has become, and that currently I have no power to make a difference. I just have to get the word out and make preparations for a bright future for everyone, not just for the rich. Let's see how we go with this. Yeah, that looks interesting. I'm just keep getting these long stretchy things. I'm going to just use that, I think. But yeah, we have to think about the future, folks, not just the here and now, which is what typically rich people do, is they don't think far ahead. They just think till the next financial, whenever it is, and it's like they just don't have any idea and they don't care. They just don't fucking care. And they don't seem to realise that one day their lives could be fucked up, as well as those less fortunate. But the poor people will suffer first, you know, because rich people can afford filtration, for example, for bad water, and they can afford this and afford that. And people who are less fortunate are the ones that are going to suffer the most. But the rich it'll catch up with them eventually, if these problems aren't solved. I'm going to try and spin that around again. This is not an easy one, folks. Unicorns. Let's see how we go. Yeah, that looks interesting. Again, it looks a bit like this piece. This piece looks a bit better. I'm actually thinking I'm going to use that one. But basically, yeah, we have to fucking think of maybe this one. Oh, I don't know, this is difficult. But basically, we've got to think of solutions to the problems and stop being a part of the pollution. However much we can't stop being a part of the pollution because the rich people have set up everything to fucking fail, and it's really difficult trying to avoid making a problem. Like, I bought a fan made by a company called Ronson, and I paid a fair amount for it, thinking that it would last a little bit instead of ending up as trash on the side of the road like a lot of fans are. And basically, when I came to try and clean the grill on this Ronson fan, I found out that the grill, the actual safety grill, couldn't be removed. I tried removing it with a pair of pliers, yeah, and basically I just couldn't get the fucker off. So the only way I could think to clean that bloody thing from the dust was to basically take the fan to my workplace and have the fan blown out with compressed air to reach the areas that cannot be reached because the grill was impossible to remove with the pliers. So I tried removing it with the pliers and it just didn't work. It fucked. So I've now got a fan that I can use without having to throw it away, but most people don't have access to compressed air and an air gun. So, and I learned that most people don't know about stuff like that, you know. When I was working back then for Xerox as a technician, we used compressed air to clean out our equipment that we were refurbishing. And cleaning with air is quite efficient when you can't reach there, and it just blasts like nothing else. And that's another thing. We're going to make, in this new company, we're going to refurbish our equipment. So the machines will be made easy, not just for when it's recycled, but before it gets recycled, when it gets refurbished and sold at a competitive price. So So, you know, it's going to be really, there's a real bright future, folks, if we could just grab onto it, and if we could know what we can do in this world to make the world a better place. You know, what can we do to make the world a better place, folks? And we've got to think like that. We can't just think for ourselves or for our small community or family members. We've got to think. We've got to be global thinkers, folks. We've got to think beyond our little world that we live in, that we think is our little world. So we have to fucking go beyond. We've got to be out-of-box thinkers. We can't just think inside the box, thinking in conventional sort of ways. I don't know if this is going to be a really good one. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but basically we've got to sort of try our best to be global and be out-of-box thinkers. There's just so much talent that gets wasted on the lure of money. And I'll tell you one thing, doing photocopier art like what I'm doing here doesn't make me any money. It costs. It really does, folks. It costs a lot of money to do what I'm passionate about and try and make a difference. I'm trying to get on television, folks. One thing I'm missing is a loved one. His name is Luigi, and I'm trying to get my videos on TV to find him, because I know I can't make my future bright without him. So I need him and he needs me. So we both want to make a difference in this world. We have to get together and marry, and the world has just fucked us off, and I'm trying my best to get my stuff out there on television to find him. So you got to make the right connections also, folks. If you don't make the right connections, your plans are dashed. Anyway, that's not too bad. I think now we can call this demo quits.